It's a true story that I got a 19 on my ACT and then went on to earn $302,000 working in sales at age 26. I'm going to share with you step by step my exact story, how I was able to get a high-paying tech sales job despite not having any experience working in sales, never having had an internship, no industry connections, and not having particularly good grades. And then more importantly, how once I started my career as a sales development rep in 2018 right out of college, completely moved myself across the country, what that was like, and how I was able to rise up the corporate ranks, 6 promotions to a senior account executive, and 4x my income in the process. Let me first start by outlining who this video is for and who it's not for. This video is for people that are currently trying to learn a new skill, who are working hard at that. It's for people that want to better manage their emotions, that want to focus more, that want to cut out a bad habit or two, that want to improve their decision making. And if any of those outcomes resonate with you, I think you're really going to enjoy this video. Let's get started. So let me take you back to 2014. I had just graduated high school and I got a 19 on my ACT, as I said. And the only college I got accepted into was Ohio University, right? And I grew up in Columbus, so I went down to Athens, Ohio, which is one of the worst counties in the state. This is where Joe Burrow is from. And I was in college, and all I did was have bad vices. I played video games, NBA 2K and Madden, literally all day. So I was like ranked top 100 in the world because I played dozens of games a day, and I was so good at it. And then luckily, I got involved in a student organization, a business frat, and it totally changed my life. I was towards the end of my sophomore year, and I was like, you know what? I'm doing nothing with my college career experience. I somehow went to an event for a business frat, so I got involved. So as you take away any lessons from my story, depending on where you're at in your own trajectory, getting involved in a community of like-minded people, super important. As a result of getting involved, it led me to push myself by wanting to be competitive with other people in the real world in a productive way, rather than trying to be competitive with people in an unproductive way in the digital world, playing video games. Big lesson in there. Through being involved in my student organizations in college, I discovered that there was a career fair coming up, and this was in the beginning of my senior year. And I started to have these thoughts in August, September, the start of my senior year. Hey, I need to get a job. What do I actually want? What are my goals? Let me begin with the end in mind here, because I just read 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. So I started writing down, my dream is to get a sales job in a big city outside of Ohio. I was sick and tired of the winters, so I wanted to leave Ohio. So I looked at all the companies that were going to be at the job fair through the perspective of who's hiring for sales in a city that's not in Ohio. So I got about 6 companies. So I went to the career fair, I had my resume printed out, and I went up to each one of those booths with the hiring companies. I said, look, here's my resume. Well, what do I got to do to get a job? And they say, well, actually, we're doing interviews tomorrow on campus. You want to join? And I said, yeah, I'll do it. So I did dozens of interviews through that and applying to other companies. And I was super fortunate to get hired at a fast-growing software company as a sales development rep. I had no idea what the job was. I accepted a role for Provo, Utah, which wasn't quite a big city. And they actually offered me, hey, do you want to go to Dallas? We're looking to take people there. So my dream of getting a sales job in a big city outside of Ohio, I manifested it into reality despite not having experience, any sales internships, any connections, solely based on setting a goal and putting myself in the right position to succeed. So if you have a similar goal of you want to get into the tech industry, specifically tech sales, and you are not fortunate enough to have resources like a college career fair or having connections or having any experience, I put together an entire sales course teaching you everything I learned, specific step-by-step, building up LinkedIn, applying, what you would actually be doing, and I've linked that in the description below. So I think that will really help you if you are actually looking for a job. Once you get in the job, I then moved myself cross-country from Columbus, Ohio to Dallas, Texas, and this is the next lesson, is when you completely change your settings, it allows you to build momentum fast and reinvent yourself. So for example, I just moved to Austin, Texas. That's where I'm at right now. I'm on the 44th floor, coming to you live from an incredible apartment building because I'm self-sufficient and I control my destiny because of the lessons in this story here today. So if you move, and I moved every year after college, every single year. I've moved for like 9 years straight, and it helps me never get too comfortable because I'm always going to adapt and figure out and evolve to changing circumstances. So I moved across the country and I said, Trent, now's the time, flip the switch. No one's coming to save you. You got to be all in, be committed, go hard. So that's what I did. I was at the right opportunity at the right time, and I decided I'm going to give this everything I have. There is no escape hatch. There's no alternative. I'm going to make it happen right here. And if you're looking to increase your income, there's 2 ways you can do it. You can do it at your current company by promoting organically up the ranks, or you can build some track record and then go to another company. I think working your way up the ranks at one company, it's better because your relationships internally compound. So it allows you to get away with more. That's why I was able to make videos in the office and build a personal brand. Eventually led to my demise, which I'll talk about. But it was cool while I was there, and you learn the product the longer you're there. So you start to have a knowledge advantage over other people. So I started as a sales development rep, working in tech sales. My first year I put up $77,000. And keep in mind, when you work in a performance-based career like sales, you are responsible for revenue. So you're able to make more money than someone who is not responsible for revenue. So think about that when you're looking for jobs and you're deciding, well, if you want to make a lot of money, you got to get in a job that can pay you a lot of money that's performance-based, right? You're not selling your time for money like a doctor, like a dentist, like an accountant, like a consultant. You are paid for your performance. So if you outperform what you're expected to produce, you can make more money. Year 1, $77,000. Year 2, $108,000, I think it was. Yeah. Year 3, $180-something thousand. And then year 4, $302,000 of pure W-2 income at age 26. And there's a few lessons learned along the way. And keep in mind, I was also making money through YouTube, through courses online, through coaching, which I have a coaching link down below if you want to meet with me to talk about your own sales career and getting a job or making more money in the job. But some of the key lessons learned along the way that allowed me to accelerate like I did is learn a skill that you can be paid for. So for example, I realized very early on, prospecting, specifically cold calling, is never going away. So I may as well get as good at it as I possibly can. So I built my career and my edge around, I will make more calls than everyone else. It's as simple as that. That's the recipe for my success. There's never been a team I've been on in which someone has done more inputs, daily activities, and calls than I am. You can ask anyone I used to work with, and I believe they will confirm. I may not be the best, the most experienced, the best looking, the funniest, but I will work the hardest. That's a fact. So I make the most calls. I made 60,000 outbound calls. As a result of doing that, it allowed me to generate enough pipeline each quarter to hit my quota most of the time. So I got paid more commissions and exceed my performance targets so I could make more money and get into accelerators, which is basically a bonus for outperforming your quota. And I was also able to build an online personal brand around sales and talking about cold calling because it's a skill that's valuable in the marketplace that I'm actually very good at because I've been doing it for so long now. And it's real and it shows through and people understand I know how to make a cold call and I can teach you how to make a cold call. So a year or two back, I realized, you know what, I can teach other people how to do this, whether through one-on-one coaching or through a course, which is a digital product. And that's a whole nother video we can talk about. Great business, by the way. And then the other lesson is cutting off vices. So if you're in a career right now and you're looking to get to the next level and make more money, what is holding you back? What is holding you back? Think about the one thing. If I could just stop doing this one thing, I know I would unlock more potential. For me, it was video games in college. I had to cut that out in order to get a job. Once I got in a career, it was gambling. It was the weekends and meet up with my friends. We'd party, we'd watch college football, we'd watch basketball, we'd watch NFL all day. That's all we would do. And we'd gamble on it. It was a lot of fun. But it's a major distraction. And I had to cut that out in order to get the clarity to realize, okay, let me focus on my goals. As you think about some other vices that I've observed with people, unhealthy eating. If you're not drinking a bunch of water, if you're not focused on your sleep, if you're not focused on working out, your business life is a reflection of your personal life. So I live very simple. I cut out all drama. I don't have time to deal with toxic relationships or people that are not going to elevate me, because I focus on winning and I want to be surrounded by winners. So think about that single vice and cut it out, and then all of a sudden you'll unlock all this new mental capacity to focus on you and being more successful. And that's what I wanted to talk about here today, how you can be more successful landing your job, which is what I outlined, the exact process I use to get a job. And if you need additional assistance, you can visit the first link in the description below for an entire course that's helped over 500 people in 2023 land jobs at top tech companies like Oracle, HubSpot, Salesforce, and a lot of great private software companies too. And then once you get in the job, how do you make more money? I got a 19 on my ACT. I could only get into Ohio University. None of that mattered once I started day one. I was surrounded by people from Michigan, from these Ivy League colleges. None of that matters, because I realized, hey, I'll make more calls than everyone because I'm going to learn a skill that's actually valuable in the marketplace and use it every day, and look at my quota and say, okay, if I got to generate $216,000 in new revenue this quarter, how many calls I got to make? How many meetings I got to get this week? And then how many deals do I have to close to get to that level? And I hope that this video was useful to help you to think differently about things, and that no matter where you're at in life, you can change it. You can completely reinvent yourself, but in order to do that, you must be willing to sacrifice who you are today to become the version of yourself you want to become tomorrow. If you enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up button now, share it with a friend who needs it, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this one, and I'll talk to you in the next video.